Yeah. Welcome back. The Fake Podcast. I don't know what episode this is. I think I gave y'all the wrong number in the last one. But, you know, it'll say it in the description and in the title and all that, man.
It'll be the one with the most views.
Facts, man. Facts. Shout out to Cash on the beat. Once again, Cash holding it down, man. You see, this one goes longer than normal because he gave me the full jump. So I ain't stealing no more.
Cash, if you end up listening to this podcast, I've heard this song so many times over the past 2 months, and it gets better every time.
Hey, man, that's my dog, bro. Cash, bro. Telling you, bro, the people love Cash, bro. Everybody love Cash.
You love
bro.
Cash, and now we all love Cash
bro.
as well.
Everybody love Cash, man. Yo, I got my dog with me today, man. I got my dog Austin with me.
That's a good fade. That's a good fade.
I'm trying, bro. I promise I'm trying. I'm trying. Then I'll be having to go back and post edit and do it because it'd be like way too loud in the post edit, and I have to like mess around and do some stuff, bro. But it's cool, man.
It happens.
Got my dog Austin with me, man. I ain't gonna tell him your last name yet.
It's fine.
I mean, if you wanna, plug that yourself down the road, you can. I ain't finna tell these people your last name and have them Googling you and stuff like that. They'll probably find some records that they shouldn't be finding.
Can't find me.
That's beautiful, bro. I stay the same way.
Can't find me.
Google Johnny Dash, see what you find out. Nothing on me is the person. Everything on me is the brand.
Well, I know the real handle.
That's fine. I mean, hey, that's cool. I'm,
You
but
can
the public.
you can find my business pages.
Facts.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh wait, no, you do know the real handle, bro. How'd you find me?
I got your real phone number too.
I mean, everybody got that.
Because you sent it to me, and then you're like, "Hey, no, don't use this account." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, it was an accident.
You sent me a post from it.
Yeah. I fumbled, bro.
If you were running from something, you would fail.
Yeah, I messed up, bro.
Slip up.
Got
way
caught
too
slipping
easy.
out here, man. Dog. So man, Austin, introduce yourself to the people who don't know you. Tell them just a little bit about you in a quick, intro.
I don't know how to do that. Hi, I'm Austin, for starters. I own Howell AVL. If you feel like looking it up, AVL integration company. I'm an audio engineer who has spent his life doing that and venturing off into the rest of the creative. That's how I got to know John.
So for the people who don't know, what is AVL?
Audio, video, and lighting. So an integration is basically a really fancy term for we put it together and handle it. So if you walk into a church or a venue, you see speakers, mics, projectors, screens, lights, whatever. That's the kind of thing we do, from selling the gear to training teams, etc.
Facts. So basically anything you need in the media world and in the media realm when it comes to live production, is that right?
Or studio production.
Live or studio production, my man Austin can handle it for you.
And I got a good friend who wanted to start a podcast, and magically he ended up with a whole bunch of gear at cost.
Yeah, shout out. Hey, shout out to that at cost, baby. Save me a little something, man,
And I got a smoothie out of it.
Facts.
And a Bryce Thompson jersey for my son. It was
a
fair trade.
Fair trade. And the FaceTime,
and the FaceTime,
yeah. Bryce came through with the FaceTime, man. Shout out to Bryce.
Highlight of his week.
Yeah, man. Hey, we do it for the kids, man. We do it for the kids. So I'm gonna get a little bit of music going, man. Just y'all be playing music. I don't know if I'm gonna get hit with the copyright joint or not. Until I figure it out, I'm gonna just keep playing it. Just cause, man, I don't know, bro. Sometimes music get the mood. You know what I'm saying? Just it's just about vibes, man. You ain't really everything gotta be so uptight, man. Like, just be wanting to really like chill and just kind of vibe out to some good tracks and good tunes, man. I be finding these like random artists that I never heard of before and realize that they have some great quality music.
And not to mention, you won't get hit with a copyright claim if we continually talk over the music, because the algorithm can't read it anyway.
Really? Oh, that's how it works?
If we pause and we let the music play for however long, like, I'm just kidding, not going to let it play.
Right.
Then, I mean, the algorithm's just looking for all the things that this is put in. So if you keep talking over it, then it generally won't trigger like YouTube or whoever to say, hey, this is somebody else's song, because they can't understand what's actually happening. They just hear us and stuff going on in the background.
So it'll just, they looking for that small snippet of it.
Yeah, if you hear a hook off something or like a intro fill or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same thing in broadcast world. Whenever you're broadcasting a sporting event and the people inside the venue are playing whatever songs they're playing, you have to cram up your own background music first before YouTube kicks and you drop your stream. So people like to play Eye of the Tiger, anything Guns N' Roses, and it'll make YouTube mad very fast.
It make me upset because I get tired of hearing them songs sometimes.
Dude, I know.
If they high school is a tiger, if their mascot is a tiger.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's welcome to the jungle.
Come on, man.
Welcome to the jungle and the Eye of the Tiger.
Over and over and over and over.
And it's all like, and I mean this respectfully, but it's always the same, like, time period of music, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I'm a big music historian for a lot of the things, but it's always like that late 70s, early mid, basically all 80s and some early 70s and some late 70s and early 90s, you know. I mean, but I think that just goes to show the professionals that are working in these venues, that's kind of the age a lot of people are, you know. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Because there's not a lot of 20-year-olds that have jobs that prestigious a lot of times, working in an actual educational environment. They're contracted on with the school. So, I mean, if I was in charge, it'd be weird people walking out to a basketball game with Steely Dan playing. Like, it would just be odd. So maybe those are the right songs to play.
Well, to touch on two things. So there was a school I went to where the music selection was very like, it got my stamp of approval. Yeah. Like, I was hearing songs that I grew up on, like songs that I hadn't heard in like 10 years, just because you forget about them. Like, music kind of moves on, and there are some songs that kind of get lost in the sauce, and you just kind of forget. But as soon as I heard it, it was nostalgic. I was like, dang, like, this remind me of like middle school or something that. Like, you know, just certain tracks hit certain parts, man. So it was good to kind of hear that.
Well, a good song doesn't die.
Facts.
You know, nobody's mad about anything the Beatles did or Marvin Gaye or anybody, you know, that came up and shaped a lot of the music that we know. Those songs are still just as effective and as powerful today as they ever were, you know. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that's one of the things that drove me hard as an engineer. Like, it drove me further down the rabbit hole of learning is, like, you know, I've told you before, like, you hear a Queen record and Freddie Mercury is doing these things. That is a human dude in a room doing this.
Right.
You know, I was showing you a old Stevie Ray Vaughan record earlier. Like, that's Stevie Ray Vaughan playing a guitar. It's not Pro Tools and processing and all these, you know, these editing tricks and this and that. It was human beings in a stinking room playing music and getting how they feel out. And that's why it hits you so hard. And that goes even further to the whole vinyl debate. But music was music, you know. It's not there a lot of times anymore.
Absolutely, I agree with you. To touch on the music, man. So this track you listening to right now is called "Ain't Gonna Stop Me," by Reggie. And that's all I really got, bro. Bro really only got 5 songs on Apple Music, and his last one, which would be this one. Well, actually, he released 3 in 2021 and 1 in 2020. This edition specifically is like the Colors show. Yeah, you've been seeing those. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is from that. But yeah, man, this was one of those songs that when I heard it, it was like instantaneous. Like, oh snap, this is really good. You know.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to turn my hat around. I assume half my face is dark from the way these lights are in here.
You good? I'll edit that out.
Well, then it's just gonna be like me sitting here going, and then.
No. I mean, like edit out the mic. Like, I'll mute the mic so bad. You don't hear the.
You would think I would know how to do this. My bad.
That's why I bought the one with the button, y'all, so I can.
That's why he got recommended the ones.
But I did buy it though. I did buy it. That's the part. All right. So So, man, one of the things that I've kind of learned about you is that you're very meticulous, I think, if that's the right word. Like, because you've been doing certain things for so long, like, you have a specific way that you go about, like, when you edit or when you record or when you set up. Go ahead and tell me and the people about, like, how you kind of got your start into the audio world, and I guess the AVL world, you know, and what, you know, how you gain that rapport, and, you know, just the short version though. We ain't got all day.
I've been blessed to be around some really cool people, is the short of it. My dad and a couple of his close friends, some still with us, some have passed away. They, ever since a young age, you know, everybody in my family is a musician, and so I was always around it. I'm a preacher's kid, and so I was always at the church figuring out how to do stuff, whether that be cleaning toilets or fixing a bad line on a stage, you know. And so grew up playing. My dad invested.
What'd you play?
I played drums, and then moved on to piano and guitar in college. I remember telling my dad, dude, I'm taking guitar. And he's like, no, you're not. You're taking piano. I'm like, I'm not going to play piano. Nobody in the world wants to play piano. And then he said, I am paying for this. You are going to play piano. And I said, yes, sir. And he was right 100%. Learning piano unlocks theory in whole new ways. Anyway, my dad sold a bunch of stuff and wanted to invest in the relationship he and I have. And it was something him and my mom made the decision of, and he invested in a small studio. Like, our entire studio was based around like a small multi-track recorder like that. Started recording local bands and kept doing it with my dad, working underneath, you know, what he was doing. When I was 16, put out my first EP for a local band. The band was okay. The record was even worse because I was doing it and had no idea what I was doing. But to condense everything, grew up in music and in audio, went to school for audio, got home, started working in live as well. And honestly, I took a job that I hated a few years ago when my son was, right after he was just born. This job was paying no money. And my wife and I prayed about it, and I really felt like the Holy Spirit said, you need to apply for this job. And I said, this is stupid. This is less money than I've ever made. And he goes, you're going to apply for it. So I said, okay. There's a whole nother 2-hour discussion about what that job taught me. But one of the main guy there, he was a videographer and a photographer, and he said, I need you to do these product photos and these product videos. Like, bro, I have no idea. I started in Corel. Have you ever seen Corel?
Never. I've never heard of that before.
It's like if Microsoft Paint can edit video. And so, but I was fortunate enough to have the time and the resources to goof off and learn it. And it's kind of hasn't slowed down since. Continued in with good friends like you and Nate and some of our other friends that, you know, do this thing full time, and I just kept learning. You know, I'm not gonna say a knack for creative. I just think that I have a passion for it. And
right.
So I'm the weird one that lives in the AVL integration, the actual technical mindset of everything, of why these things are and are not working. And I live in the creative space as well, getting able to help a local artist put their song out, or put their company put their video out, or so it's all kind of just oddly fell into place that, you know, if you enjoy learning, you always find something to learn.
So with that, because you, like you just said, you have two different, which they kind of work together,
Yeah,
but most times it's not the same person that brings them together.
It's hardly ever. And,
yeah.
and honestly, I suck at both of them. That's, you know, the proof in the pudding that I can't make up my mind, so I'm not very good at either one of them.
So,
you know.
That's not true, man. Dude, you're good, bro. That's why I asked you a bunch of questions. So, you know, and I like the fact that I can come to you and ask you like the most random thing and be like, yo, how does this look? How does this sound? I think I'd ask you more of the sound question a lot more than anything. Or I guess when I try and color grade stuff too.
We're all learning, man.
Yeah. It's a learning process, man. And I think that's the best part. But when you have the ability to take two different sides of something and bring them together, like I feel like that gives you more, I don't want to say power, but I
think it opens up your perspective. And I think that's one thing that, you know, in pitching jobs to clients and stuff like that, the one thing that I tend to go with is I'm able to look at things from a different perspective. To a degree, we are all unique.
Yeah.
We are all different. We all have things we're good at and bad at, but I've been privileged to be in the media world in several different aspects, and so I can take all of these views on a situation, I'm proud of that. It's just a result of the people that I've been blessed to be around. A lot of the information I have is never mine. I just remembered it and regurgitate it from people that are smarter than I am that I've worked with.
I think that's all of us.
Could
really
be.
I mean, I learned a lot since being here, and just figured out how to apply it to what I do on my own terms.
Like color grading.
Yeah, like color grading, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just kind of when I feel it's necessary, then I'll be like, okay, like let me do this. Sometimes I don't have the perfect camera settings that I like, and you don't realize it until after you record it, and you're like, oh, I need to go back and.
Dude, I've done that a lot.
Yeah,
I've done that so much.
Especially if you like overexpose, which I kind of hate.
Yeah,
but it happens. But again, it's a learning process. It's continuous learning, and that's such as life.
100%.
We don't know everything. I mean, you're a dad. The fatherhood process, as beautiful as a process that I think it is, and
weird,
hopefully will be, it at times it's a learning process. Like it's not a.
Well, the other day, my son is 6 and my daughter's 4, and my son and I got bent out of shape about something. And he and I were just having a talk, okay, son, listen, like you can't be doing this and acting like this. But on the other side, daddy can't be acting like this and doing these things either. And I said something and he just looked at me like he was frozen. I said, Bubba, do you know how you're still learning how to be 6? And he goes, yeah. I said, I'm learning how to be 30 as well.
Right.
And he was just like, huh? I don't know. I would like to think because it's such great wisdom. I think he was just confused because I'm trying to give life lessons to a 6-year-old. He's not going to grab it, everything yet. But that's something that, you think growing up, like, man, my parents have it figured out, or whoever. And like, no, they're just older than you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like nobody has it figured out. The goal isn't to get to the top of the mountain. The goal is to keep walking.
Yeah.
Keep learning and growing and getting better.
Dude, that man, to speak to that. So I'm 28, not married, no kids. When I was when my parents were 28, like they're like a year apart. So I was probably like 6 or 7, and to kind of think that, thinking back then, it's like even when I was older, it felt like they had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you could have seen it from their side, they're going to bed after they lay you down to sleep and going, how are we going to do this? How is this going to happen?
You don't understand how often I ask my parents, like, how did y'all manage that?
Oh, dude, I know.
Like, not granted, 2-income household.
Yeah.
But it's like y'all were dealing with kids, like, and not just me by myself. Yeah. It was like multiple kids. It's like, how? You know what I mean? Like, and I had some resentment when I would look back and be like, dang, like when I was growing up, this is what we went through, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, ultimately they were just doing the best they could. Like, even if I might not have, looking back, it's like I didn't approve of this thing that my parents did when I was 13, and the way this shaped me, whatever. It's like, bro, they did the best they could with the best they had, and I always kind of give my younger sister a hard time because I'm like, she grew up with the more mature, the more experienced, the better position, the further in life version of my parents than I did.
How many years apart are y'all?
We are like 6.5 years apart.
Golly, I can't imagine having like a 6-year-old and be like having a baby. Like I feel like I've moved on from that,
Yeah.
So when people tell me like, like my wife and both her sisters are all 7 years apart.
Yeah.
So like it blows my mind. Let me say welcome back.
Go ahead, man.
Welcome back. So this podcast still doesn't have a name.
Bro, that is the name. The Fake Podcast.
The Fake Podcast.
That's the name of it, bro.
JohnnyDashMedia.
Yes, sir. So
I crushed that intro.
That was a good job, bro.
Crushed
good
it.
job, man.
Crushed it.
So what happened was the camera died, and we just had to take an impromptu commercial break. But we back. Me and my guy, Austin, CEO of Howell AVL.
CEO does sound good.
Yeah, it sounds better.
We all of a one employee.
Yeah. Hey,
president and janitor.
That's like when they be like, "Hey, can I speak to your manager?"
Hold on
one second.
No, you know what's funny? I'm not going to say the name of this company because they're a national company. I used to work for a company that sold products nationwide.
Yeah.
And at the time when the company was growing, there was only 2 of us.
Yeah.
And so they said, "I want to speak to your manager." Okay. "Hi, this is Greg." Or I'd hand the phone off to my buddy, and then they get mad at him. "I want to talk to your boss." So he'd hand it back to me, and we would just keep doing accents over and over. Bro, when I tell you I had 4 separate email signatures, all of different names of different people with different titles within the company. And what's funny is, like, sometimes people just get mad at you and don't want to talk to you anymore. And you're like, "Let me talk to your manager." "Okay." And they're like fighting mad, and you go, "Hi, this is Greg." "Hi, Greg. Man, it's so nice to talk to you." Like, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to somebody different.
So people be like that sometimes.
Crazy people.
Sometimes it's hard to deal with customers. I mean, and then sometimes it's hard to deal with people who aren't customers and just got something to say. I went through that recently. I mean, but you just kind of go through it and
just got to do it.
Yeah, try to be professional as possible. In that instance, I probably wasn't, but
it never changes. And this might be my flawed perception on how to love people and help people, but if you come at me with disrespect, don't get upset when I'm disrespectful back. Like, if you're gonna start throwing things at me and just being a trash human, don't be upset when I don't say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Like, I'm just probably gonna write you off and say the first thing on my mind, which is more than likely something rude.
All I'm doing is giving you back the same energy that you came at me with.
Yeah.
So
you wanted to come with violence.
Come on, man.
So you got a mirror. It's coming right back.
I know they said turn the other cheek, but
Jesus said that. I didn't say that. I'm gonna give you bad advice.
Jesus said it, but it ain't. It don't always work like that, fam. It don't always work like that.
Do you think Jesus taught that because he had learned that after not turning the other cheek and be like, "No, that I didn't handle those situations right"? I'm not trying to be sacrilegious in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, like, a lot of wisdom out of our lives comes from the ways we wish we would have handled situations.
Right.
And I do believe he's the Son of God. He is loving to everybody he saw, but you never know. He might have chewed somebody out at one point and be like, "You know what, man, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Next time, I'm going to turn the other cheek."
They did say he flipped the tables and all that, right?
Did in the synagogues.
So did the synagogue table flipping happen before the cheek turning or after?
As a Bible college graduate, I don't know. I get all my scriptures turned around, I know, like my uncle asked me years ago. He said, "How long did it take Moses to build the ark?" And I'm sitting there thinking, and he goes, "Noah built the ark." And I go, "Oh yeah, that's my bad."
Oh, hey, I was sitting here like, bro, I don't even think they went over that.
It took him a long time.
Hey, did you watch the movie they made about that?
Evan Almighty?
No. This podcast is over. No. I think it was like a movie called like Noah or something like that.
No, I didn't.
I don't know.
That.
It was about Noah.
You can't tell me
ark,
Evan Almighty was an incorrect answer to that.
Bro, I didn't even watch Evan Almighty. I stopped at Bruce.
Stupid
Steve Carell, right?
Steve Carell movie. It's just
Carell.
It's not me. Not offending me. This is that song you showed me.
Yeah, bro.
Great guitar lead.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce this lady's name. Go Pele. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong.
I would vote that you are.
Me too. So if you ever see this, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name, but check me and tell me how to pronounce your name correctly, because as a person who enjoys your music, I prefer to know how to pronounce your name. So, boom. But this track fire, though.
It's very much. I got a question for you.
What's up, bro? Oh, flip the script.
People stumble onto your page all the time, contact you for a variety of media things, right?
A variety of media things, for y'all that don't know.
JohnnyDashMedia.com.
Everybody think I just record sports. That's not it. But
no, that's just, you do a lot with that.
Yeah.
But
that's my mainstay.
How did you get started in all this? Because if I didn't know you, I'd be sitting here going like, why does this dude have a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did you end up with any of this?
Well, with the podcast, let's start from the top. I love basketball.
I had no idea.
But I'm obviously not somebody who played basketball at a high level. But I did want to find a way to like contribute to the game of basketball. So I just kind of stepped into this media realm. I was coaching. The head coach he knew I did like video work. So I was doing like video work for some of my friends who played.
But what was before that? Like, you didn't just go to Best Buy and buy a camera.
Well, I was getting to that part.
I'm sorry. Like, well, it just seemed like it's. I'm just trying to understand.
I kind of jumped like backwards, and then I jumped like backwards. But even before I started coaching, I was like, I had some friends who played pro ball overseas and in the like G League or whatever, and I would just like take their games, pull them off YouTube and make edits.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. And then there was a point where I do the whole coaching thing, kind of fast forward into this. And the head coach gave me a camera. Well, not gave me a camera. He let me borrow his camera for like a year. I held on to this camera, and I was just like recording games, like all. When I say everywhere, dude, I mean New York to LA, north and south, Indiana to Texas, just like recording games everywhere.
You went west.
That way. Well, really it's that way.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I didn't know you did all that.
Oh yeah, with a camera that wasn't even mine and a very bad Windows computer.
Fine.
And I mean, and then from that I ended up getting a job working in media, working in corporate media, where I started learning about like other technologies that were used in different softwares, different cameras. Like, I had no clue. Like, I didn't know the price of cameras. I didn't know
that part.
Lenses.
Sucks.
Oh yeah, that's the worst part about all of it. Because you see some really, really nice equipment that you feel like you can use and probably can use.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, bro. It's going to take a chunk out of your savings no matter who you are.
Well, creatives and musicians are really similar in the sense that the gear, like in our formative years, rather, the gear that we're hauling in our vehicles generally costs more than the vehicle that we're driving.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Like, I used to have a really crappy old car, and I had $10,000 or $15,000 worth of music gear and recording gear in the back of it when I'd go to a thing. Like, if I got in a wreck and it got trashed, like,
that was it.
Oh.
I worry about that all the time.
Dude, like, I got rear-ended in a wreck one time, and the medics and everything are there, and my car got smashed, and they're freaking out because I'm running around trying to get my trunk open. They said, "What in the world's going on?" I said, "My cymbals are back here." They're like, and I go, I got a lot of money in this hard case.
But the time I got in the wreck, bro, I was like just praying, and I was on the way to a shoot, so I had my equipment with me. And I mean, thankfully, the only impact was on my side of the car. Mm-hmm. But I was like so worried that my stuff wouldn't work. I was like, bro, if my computer doesn't turn on, or if my like camera is like shattered or something like that, or lens is shattered, like anything wrong, it's like not only do I have to get my car fixed, I have to replace equipment. Yeah. And that costs a lot of money. Which, but to go back, I just started learning like how to improve, the content and all that. And, I've been doing this for a while, man. It's 5-6 years in. We keep steadily hitting milestones. I don't want to mention the milestone I hit today, but just know I'm always hitting milestones. I hit a yearly milestone last year that I had set for myself years ago, just a personal milestone. Today I hit a milestone on something, I guess a professional milestone.
Big milestone.
Man, huge milestone, and we were all
a part of it and excited.
Yeah, we all got the right on the board. I stole that from a basketball thing. But man, just and part of it is finding different ways to kind of continually grow. That's where the whole like podcast idea came from. I had that idea for a while. Yeah. But we as creators, man, we can kind of sometimes doubt ourselves a little bit.
100%.
And just like hesitate. It's like You know, when I was a kid, bro, I was afraid of water. Like I was scared of. I would go to the pool, but I would never jump in the water, and I would never like go in the deep end, right? Until I took swim lessons in like 7th grade. The oldest kid taking swim lessons. But it's like that first time they put me on the diving board, bro. Hey, I get it, bro. I'm like 11 years old taking swim lessons, bro. But I know how to swim now.
Did any of the floaties fit?
Bro, that's the thing, bro. They never gave us floaties, bro. They was just like, get in. We're going to show you how to do all this stuff.
Dude, I learned to swim by like getting thrown in a pool.
And that's the thing, bro. So my god brother threw me in a pool one time, and it scarred me for life.
Yeah, that's
because
how my cousins
I didn't
taught
know
me
how
to swim. Yeah.
I didn't know how to swim.
Dude, I couldn't swim until I was an adult. But before that, I was probably 18 and still doggy paddling. Like, I swear, like, I knew how to not drown.
That's the part.
I couldn't swim. Like, I knew how to not drown. Yeah. But I finally learned how to, like, have a technique, and I'm a beautiful swimmer now.
So,
graceful swimmer.
But it's like the first time you get on a diving board and you're like, kind of like, you're hesitant to jump. You're going to jump eventually, right? Because you can't go back. Nobody's gonna let you back down.
No, you're gonna get punched and pushed.
Right.
If you try to turn around. So at least jumping doesn't get you hit.
It's like, all right, I got both my feet on the ledge, and I'm gonna step. Wait, nope, hold on. All right, nope, not this time neither. Okay. You know, I just get, and then eventually you end up jumping, and you realize, okay, it's not even that bad. Like it's.
Dude, that's a life lesson.
Is for real.
That whole bit is a life lesson.
Like, bro, you just gotta go for it, man. Like. I was thinking about doing this for a long time. Like me and Dion, we had thought about. We was like, man, we should, because this was during the pandemic.
Yeah,
which lets you know how long this idea has kind of been had. Like 2 years, right? That was back in 2020. Like we got bored and we was like, bro, we already just being here having good conversation. Like
we should be recording.
Yeah, we should be recording. But it was like the fear of how things will be received will hold us back. And in times, bro, you just gotta go for it. Like,
well, I think so much of creators of one of the ways that we grow is by studying other people's work.
Right.
And I think it's really easy to get to the point. I can speak for me of not wanting to do certain things because I think like, well, these people are like clearly like way better at it. Like, you know, back when I was, you know, putting out, you know, when I was working in studios a lot, like, it held me back from doing a lot of cool jobs because I was like, man, I'm not that good. Look how good all these other people were. And then somebody finally told me, if you're better than your client, that's all that is asked of you.
Right.
You know, it's not your goal to be the best in the world necessarily. If you can help somebody accomplish their goal with your business, then you can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit of a rabbit trail, but I feel like that's something that holds a lot of people back from stuff is saying like, wow, well, look how good they are. Look how much content they have. Look how good they are on camera. Like, you think Jimi Hendrix just walked out and was like, oh, that's a cool thing. I should play that right now. You know what I mean? Like, at one point, he was sitting there doing this, trying to figure out how to make, oh, that's a G chord. Okay. And then went, you know.
And eventually. Eventually, that don't turn into.
Yeah. So you can't be held back by those things. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen if you put out a podcast and nobody listens? You had a bunch of fun. You had a bunch of cool conversations with people that you enjoy life with, you know, like.
And I had some great talks.
Yeah, if nothing
and I ain't even put out an episode yet. That's how, like, at this point, episode 1 hasn't even dropped. And I don't know if y'all are still watching. But I'm just having fun having conversations with people I know.
I bet my mom is still watching.
But did she watch episode 1 or did she just watch
I don't know. I wasn't in all these other episodes.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't really think she would be watching because she cares about you.
That's what I'm saying. But she'll watch the episode with the CEO of Howell AVL.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying, bro. You just got to go for it, bro.
Just do it. What is the worst thing that could happen? Don't do that.
Yeah, they don't sponsor this show. My bad. Cut that part.
Cut it out.
But
no, I applaud you for saying, like, these are the things that I want to do. I have no idea how to do those things. I'm going to be honest. Like, when we started talking podcast stuff, like, some of the questions you were asking me, I'm sitting there going, like, what? And then I had to remind myself, like, you're just as eager to learn about these things. Like, at one point, I didn't know what this microphone was. If you didn't,
Right.
you didn't either. I asked somebody. Hey, you asked somebody. And so I admire the fact that what you do is so unique, and that's one of the things you were put on this earth to do. That you just keep hammering down with it, and are not concerned with what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
If I can figure out English, but no. One of my earliest memories of you is you had gotten hired for a corporate media job, and one of the guys, after you had gotten hired, one of the techs had said, "Hey man, my name's so and so. It's nice to meet you." And you guys were having a conversation, and he was like, "Well, what kind of camera do you use?" And you went, "I don't know." Well, okay.
Nothing.
What software do you use? And you're like, "I use iMovie." And I remember him talking about, like, we've all talked about this openly. Him talking about, like, why is this dude here?
Right.
He knows nothing. He just got hired for a media job, and this guy don't even know what kind of camera he has.
But also, you know what that says, bro?
You hungry?
Yeah. That, and sometimes you don't need the best equipment to produce good product.
Nope.
I mean, sometimes you do need some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes that budget, hey, I first started working here, brother, I was in an entirely different tax bracket.
Yep.
I mean, when I say different, I mean very, very low. Like,
well, like, if you look at the creative, like, world, like, pretty much the only people that have an unlimited budget is probably Marvel, right?
or Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, maybe so, but I mean, like, even like big name pictures like that we all know and love were done with a very specific budget and probably wanted to do things a different way, and they said, "This is what we have in front of us."
Right.
The creating comes from you, not your gear.
Exactly.
You see something of how you want to see it, how you want to handle something, and then you find whatever gear is accessible to make that happen. There's people doing flawless work with GoPros, like really cinematic work with GoPros, and
or phones, like regular iPhones.
100%.
This commercial was filmed on an iPhone.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely humbling to hear, because I have this thing of always, like, I never want to forget where I came from with this journey.
You absolutely can,
because I don't want where I'm at to take away where I came from, because that makes the journey so much more, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, appreciative.
Yeah.
Like, I know one thing, like, when I was going through my, like, worst and darkest times, like, not having any money, like, my car being stuck in a shop for a month, like, and having to Uber to work and Uber to go get food, and this is like before DoorDash and all that. Like, I just kept telling myself, like, man, this struggle is gonna be part of my success story one day, and I still ain't told it yet. I don't know if now's the right time to tell it, but I just know, bro, like, that was the thing that kind of kept me grounded, was saying one day I'm gonna be able to tell this chapter is gonna be a part of a success story one day.
Well, my dad always, in teaching people, a variety of things, always talks about, I'm not where I want to be, but I can't ever forget I'm not where I used to be either, because I know that some of that stuff in this song, I'm about to get an offering bucket. Like, we're going to take an offering in here, but, like, it's so important what you just said to, like, understand how you got here. And there's so many people that talk about, like, man, well, they're doing, basically, they kind of suck at where they're at right now in life. And you always tell them, like, you have no idea what they've come from. It's, I don't know.
Like, that's definitely very true. And I mean, I feel like I'm in that place too. I'm not where I want to be, but man, I've come a long, long way.
But your success story is what you say it's going to be. Because if I would write down all the things you've accomplished, even though you feel like you're just getting started and things are moving and everything's good, and you want more, and you see all these tangible things that can be had in the near future, if I were to write down all these successes and give it to 20-year-old you and say, this is the things you're going to do, you'd go, oh my gosh, like, how could I ever do that? And on the other side, now you're here like, man, this is awesome, I'm appreciative, look where I'm going.
Yeah, facts. Whole lot of hours, bro. That's something that's something me and B always say. Like, me and Bryce, we always, just a whole lot of hours went into whatever we just accomplished. It's like, bro, we put in a lot of time for that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, it's just, sometimes you just kind of look back, and that just makes you more and more appreciative of where you're currently at.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes now I can take it for granted. It'd be like, man, I'm here. I don't want to be here, but you know what? Being here is a lot better than where I was when I was 21, 22, 23.
And being in those emotions, like being grateful and proud of what you've done, a lot of business people will teach, like, that's one of the most dangerous places to be. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to get comfortable, and then you got to realize comfort didn't get you here. Comfort's not going to keep you, and comfort's not going to push you forward. Like, if you're not pushing into these things, where you're at might be good, and you might want to stay there, but it's not. You're not going to go forward from here. You think, look at all these things I've done, but you also got to realize, like, look at all these things I could be doing. Are you okay?
Man, nah, you just reminded me of something, like when you said comfort. Don't get too comfortable, right?
Yeah.
You know what I do when I feel myself getting too comfortable?
Take a cold shower?
No.
That's what I do when I'm having anxious days. Listen, cold showers will revolutionize your life.
All right.
I'm just saying. Don't set me up for something.
All right, I gotta ask the question again.
All I'm saying, man, cold showers.
All right. You know what I do when I feel myself getting too comfortable?
John, what do you do when you feel yourself getting too comfortable?
I go to sleep hungry.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that I had to do a lot when I was in a struggle place. When I was in Struggle Nation,
like a physical hunger, like you don't eat dinner.
Oh, bro, like I will not eat dinner. Because I used to have to go to sleep hungry, and I'd just be like, man, like I never want this feeling again. And if I go to sleep hungry, I'm like, it remind me, like, hey, bro, you got to get back on your grind, bro. Remember where you were.
Yep.
Before you end up back there.
Yep.
'Cause I ain't going back. No, sir.
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
There's no way.
Nope. Can't do it. Wouldn't be me.
But to circle back around of how ignorant, and I mean ignorant in the complete definition of not knowing.
Not knowing, yes.
Not knowing how completely ignorant you were to, oddly enough, an industry that you were working in professionally to where you are now. I mean, it proves that you've been hungry and you've been fed by it.
Whoa.
You've kept the drive and you've kept the hunger and you've kept pushing. It shows your work ethic a lot.
Appreciate that, bro.
It shows your work ethic.
Appreciate that, bro.
And it shows that you learn.
Hey, but you learn by asking questions. And you know this. I ask a lot of questions.
Sometimes you ask way too many questions.
Way too many. I start asking questions that I already know the answer to, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I knew that. Forget the fact that I even asked that. I knew that. I just got caught up in asking information that, because I be trying to ask like all the way down to the bare bones of
I'm not
what we're
gonna
working
say
on.
I'm not gonna say it. I promise.
Don't. Yeah, leave that where it's at. I know where you're going with that. Leave that where it's at. That was that. I'll accept that.
John is notorious for being like, man, can y'all remind me what's that? And about the time you're gonna answer, he goes, "Is this?" It's like you got to get your brain going.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, a camera.
Yeah, exactly.
My bad.
Exactly.
I drew a blank.
Yeah, I give him crap for one day when I'm sitting here. He's asking me these questions, and I'm literally not answering. Going, really? And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's that thing. That's that's what that is. A C stand. Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I told you I'm gonna say it. But
yeah, we'll let it go, man.
It's all good.
But bro, man,
it's part of learning.
Hey,
you ain't ever gonna forget what a C stand is ever again in your life.
Hey, they laughed at me so bad about that. Oh man. Because I got it. I was like, oh, I do know what this is, huh?
For all of you people that aren't in film, in media, that would be like asking, what is this? And everybody would go, oh, yeah, that's a phone. Everybody knows that. A C-stand is what's holding half these lights in here together. But, one thing that, I'll be honest, used to annoy me about you is how many questions you ask. Because, how Sigmund Freud says, whenever you don't like something about somebody, it's because it reminds you of something you don't like about yourself, right? That's true. Don't look at me like that when I'm talking about this. But, you used to, drive me nuts. And then finally I understood, he's not an idiot. He's just trying to learn. Even if he knows how to do these things, he's trying to gain another perspective on how other people do it. And then it turned from me getting annoyed by the questions you were asking to me feeling humbled that you wanted to hear the way I presented it.
For sure, because everybody looks at it different.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, everybody, bro, it's just like, go back to like religion. It's like the Bible. We can read the same verse and come away with two totally different things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole reason denominations exist, right?
Right, exactly. But it's just like, you might see it one way, or you might even set up one way, totally way different than I set up, or you know, 3 other people in here set up, and we all get the same result. And it's just like that part to me
all get a good result,
and all get a great result. You just operate different.
Yeah, for sure.
And as humans, bro, that's what we all do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody operates a little bit different. All right, welcome back. Messed up again. We still learning, man. We still learning.
That's what happens when I show up.
Yeah, but we were talking about just like the different ways of learning, and that's really what I kind of wanted to get at, like why I asked so many questions, and why I asked like how people do things different.
Yeah,
because everyone learns different. And everybody teaches different. Everybody has a different method of learning and teaching. That's one of the things I can kind of attribute back to like being on the drum line. We had to teach each other parts. So it's like, it might be 3 people lined up to learn something, one piece of information, and they may all pick it up different. Right. Somebody might learn by like sheet music. Mm-hmm. Somebody might learn by me like literally singing the sounds to them.
Yeah.
And somebody else, you might just have to play it with them until they get it. You know what I mean? It's just different. And so knowing that, I just be like curious sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I actually know the answer, and I'm just like,
then why do you bother asking it?
Because I want to know how y'all learn. Because how you learn or how you think of it might introduce me to a different way of thinking.
Then why don't you lead with that? Like, hey, listen, I know how to do this. I want to understand your process.
It's not as fun.
Okay, because it makes all of us mad.
It's not as fun.
Like for the 50th time, John, this is how you do this.
It's not as fun. It's not. I've gotten in trouble for doing that before.
Yeah.
Starting arguments just cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of
shout out to myself.
Kind of the American way, though.
Oh yeah, you know, very much so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, dude. Appreciate you taking time. Oh, before we do this, bro, this is a song by Steph Simon.
Okay.
Steph Simon, he's from Tulsa, man. He cool, man. I haven't had a chance to meet him yet. We've, shot a couple DMs back and forth on Instagram, man. Just, communicating like that. But bro got some solid Jones. I'll send you a couple of his projects.
Me too.
He did a song about Bryce too.
I think you told me about that one.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but still, like, yeah. And then this sample right here is Gap Band sample. So
yeah. What's
man.
weird? You went
man.
from Gap Band a minute ago to what? Who sampled Gap Band?
Come on, bro.
I know we'll go music history for hours.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't got that long of a
no, because you can't figure out the batteries on your camera.
Got me. He got me.
He's still learning. I shouldn't be so rude, because maybe this is how you learn how batteries are functioning. Maybe if they have a cutoff time, you just got to do it over and over and over again before like, okay, yeah, that's when the spec said this battery is good for X minutes. Man, they meant that.
Facts.
Thank you for having me.
All right, man.
It's always good conversation.
For sure, man. Look, bro, we just on here talking to people. learn a little bit about them. You learn a little bit more about me. You figured out why I asked so many questions today. You know what I'm saying? Like before, you was just like, bro, what's wrong with this man? I'm like, bro, sometimes I do it on purpose just to see how different everybody thinks.
That's not fun for me though.
I know, but it also let me know how you handle like.
I don't handle them great most of the time. You can be honest about that. It's a lot of like, oh my God, really? Here. I'm not going to show you how to plug in the cable. I'm going to hand you the cable and say, you plug it in over there. Figure it out. But I don't know. But again, that comes back to how I learn differently from you learn. Like, I learned how to put out fires by there being a fire.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all good.
Bro, it's all good. It's all love, bro. It's all everything, man.
Be better today than you were yesterday. That's it,
bro.
Right?
That's it, bro.
That's it.
Just try to be a better human. Treat everybody with respect.
For sure.
You know, because if you don't, hey, if you come with the disrespect, we matching that energy.
And we're going to Twitter with it. We're just making it album covers. That's what we're doing.
My brand new album cover, The Higher Road, dropping it's just The High Road. The High Road dropping 2022. You know what I'm saying? Just be on the
That'll
lookout.
be my comeback record to work on. I'll happily make it happen.
Oh, bro, that is funny. If you didn't see it, you just didn't see it, bro. You missed it. Just know that it was a good time.
Doesn't matter. They're talking about JohnnyDashMedia.
It don't matter.
They're talking about
That's
you.
The thing. They talking about it. So, you know, hey, keep talking.
That's it.
It will still be here. All right, man. That's a wrap, man. Me and my dog Austin.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you taking your time.
Yes, sir.
The Fake Podcast. We out. Q Cash.